and welcome back to Houselights, your one-stop shop for everything you need to hear about this week in the world of entertainment. As always, I'm your host, Liz Noss, joined by my beautiful, wonderful co-host,
Claire Donahoe.
And she wanted to do the intro today.
It's Liz's thing.
Yeah, but, I kind of wanted, it's the last one of the semester. I kind of wanted you to do it just as, a little fun thing.
So stay tuned for next semester, and I'll do it then.
Everybody's, waiting. They're oh, my God.
You have to wait one whole month for me to do the intro.
I can't wait. Well, how was your break, Claire?
It was good.
Thanksgiving break?
Thanksgiving break was good. I was back home for about 5 days. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Saw the fam bam?
Saw the... Well, yes, I saw the fam bam.
See, my theme for today
I've never heard that phrase.
What? You've never heard that?
Fam bam?
The fam bam?
Yeah, I saw them all. We had a wonderful meal. I hung out with my dog.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I participated in Blackout Wednesday as the DD.
Oh,
as the DD.
How was that? Did you see a lot of ops?
Well, no.
Mostly friends?
Mostly friends. I think we went to the bar with all the people from our high school ever. We got there and the line was so long and cover was so high, and I was like, I'm already feeling like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we decided that we would go to a different bar first and be in there and then wait, because it was also freezing, and also why would we stand outside when we go to a different bar? And then by the time one of the groups was ready to head over to said high school bar, we had a couple friends ready to go home, and that's where my role as a DD really came to life, and I took them home, and then I stayed home. So
beautiful.
I did not go, long story short, to the bar with all the people that I knew and would have known from high school. And you know what? If I had, that would have been fine, because that's what the holiday is for.
Right.
But I was also fine not doing that.
I did not participate in Blackout Wednesday because I don't really have a lot of friends from high school anymore. You know how things just fall off. And then also, all of the bars near me are in Indiana. Who wants to go to Indiana? They're just not in Uber distance, because okay, I live right over the Michigan state line. You'd have to go over to Indiana. That seems like a lot. I feel like the Uber would be more expensive. And then those bars, you will either get shanked or flirted with by a 60-year-old man.
Wow.
So there's really just not a lot of options. So I did not participate in Blackout
So that's
Wednesday.
For the best, clearly, to
not participate. I had a marg with my mom.
You did
That's
what?
as cool. A marg with my mom.
What's a marg?
A margarita.
Marg. I heard mark.
I had a marg. What is that?
Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
I really want to theme this episode as just a conversation with Claire and Liz, because really we don't really have a big theme today.
And no guests.
So it's really just us just chatting. We haven't actually gotten really to talk all that much today about just shooting the S.
Dude, okay.
Shooting the S. So that's really what we're doing. I wanted to, since we're talking about break, I have this thing where I kind of wait every break to really get into the TV and movies, and also books that I've really been wanting to consume. So I kind of go on a media binge whenever I'm at home, because I'll just watch usually what my roommates are watching while I'm here, or just put things on in the background while I'm doing other stuff. So I really get to sit down, enjoy some media, do some brain rot, and I wanted to give you the stars of the things that I watched or read.
I'm so excited.
My number one thing, I finished reading my bull riding romance, Flawless. It's kind of giving Wattpad fan fiction. It's just a romantic fiction. But yeah, 3.7 stars.
Okay.
That's really the only one that has points on it, because I didn't really know how to rate it. Because it's not good, but I like it.
And that's honest and true of you to say.
I
think we need more people admitting that when they discuss media.
No,
it's
that's
not good, but I like it.
I was talking to...
Because it's all subjective anyway.
I was talking to Theo Shearer and Brendan Mullen of the State News, and we were talking about music tastes and stuff, and I said that I felt like I had a bad music taste, but I didn't really care. And Theo's like, you don't really see a lot of people say that their music taste is bad. And I'm like, I just think it might be a little basic and just not for everybody. And I'm like, is that so wrong?
No.
To say? And I know that
self-aware.
My book taste is not pretentious. It's not classic. It's very much like I just read so much for like work and stuff that like I just want to be able to unwind.
And that's fine. And that's what many books are there for.
Yeah. And it was great.
Good.
I was like, once I got really into it, I was like, oh my God, is he going to fall off the bull? He did one time. And then
you read a whole book about bull riding and he fell off one time?
Well, yeah, he's really good. He was like the star.
Hence the 3.7 stars. Excuse me.
Yeah, I took off a whole star just because he only fell off once.
Okay. All right.
But it was a really dramatic scene. Whatever. You don't get it. I rewatched Bombshell. I gave that 4 stars.
Okay.
I watched, oh my God, if I can give you a recommendation, My Old Ass.
Dude, Jade was just talking about this. My roommate, the lovely Jade Vargo, she has told me multiple times, I need you to see this movie so we can talk about it.
So good.
I need you to watch it. You have to see it.
Basically,
oh my God. Okay.
Aubrey Plaza is someone's, like, they're, like, the older version of this girl.
Like a future version of a younger girl.
This girl, it's her senior, like, she's about to, like, leave after high school.
I'm writing
She, goes on, like, a shroom, she, like, takes shrooms, and then she sees her older self. And she gives her advice. But there's also a beautiful love story in it, and, like, a
Not between them, though.
No.
Right?
No. But, like, a really charming, like, love interest in it, and the old ass is not a fan, and she can't figure out why. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, please don't.
But yeah, great, amazing.
Wow.
And then I watched Mean Girls the musical for the first time. Isn't that crazy that it took me like a year and a half to watch the Mean Girls musical?
Yeah.
2 stars. Awful.
I didn't like it either. I saw it at Wharton.
It was so no.
In the dorms.
No.
The Mean Girls musical.
The Mean Girls musical on stage is great.
Oh. I didn't.
5 stars.
Oh, I wouldn't have said 5.
Mean Girls the musical movie, TikTokified. They cut way too many things. They cut way too many songs. And all the songs that they kept were like a bad choice.
Is this new? Did this just come out?
It was with Renee Rapp. It came out like last year.
Pardon me. Yes.
You didn't like Mean Girls the musical on stage? I saw it on Broadway, original Broadway cast. Go ahead.
Okay, I saw it at the Wharton Center across from McDonald Hall.
Me too.
And it was good. I think, and we'll get into this when we talk about Wicked later. I like musicals just okay. I think it's extremely unrealistic for someone to just be did you just roll your eyes at me? To just be talking one-on-one and then just start singing their words, which is ironic because I constantly break into song.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you are like #1 break into song person.
But I understand that's what a musical is, so I take that with a grain of salt, and I just remember thinking that Mean Girls...
That could have been a song you just did.
That Mean Girls...
Just remember thinking.
Yeah.
You literally just did it.
That Mean Girls, the musical, in the Wharton Center, there was no talking. The plot was entirely moved through song, which is impressive and good, and yes, that is a musical.
No, the Mean Girls the musical has...
There was... not compared to, like...
It wasn't an opera.
Other shows where there's more stretches of dialogue, I find. Like, Mean Girls was like song after song after song, which is fine. Great, even. Lovely. But I think that was my main... I remember that being my main thing.
See, and maybe that's like a personal choice.
It is.
Because, like,
it's a personal...
I personally listen to, like, the ones that are, like, sung all the way through.
Yeah.
Which is technically an opera. So there's, Natasha, Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 is, like, my favorite musical. That's all singing.
It's just...
Falsettos is all singing. It's another of my favorites.
Yeah.
Into the Woods. Actually, no. Into the Woods is not all singing. I lied. I just lied.
Yeah.
Bear Pop Opera. Anyone know that one?
No.
Cult classic.
So yeah, musicals that don't leave a lot of room for them to literally catch their breath and talk.
You just find that like unrealistic.
They're just not for me.
Musicals are unrealistic though.
Yeah. I feel like I'm coming across as like I can just hear someone being like, that's what a musical is. I know that, and it's well executed.
I'm saying it. That's
like,
why you can hear it.
It's like I
just said that.
It's like I understand that. I don't know. I'm not even going to be able to defend myself because people that passionately love musicals are going to be like, well, then just watch a play. And I would have. But Mean Girls was a musical, and that's what was showing at the Wharton Center. And I lived in McDonald Hall, and I wanted something to do. So that's what I did.
College night.
Yeah, college night out.
I watched Trap with M. Night Shyamalan. 1 star. I wish I could give it 0.5, but I would never do that to a movie.
That's really...
1 star.
Okay.
I won't explain more.
Okay.
Rewatched The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, another kind of musical. Hunger Games movie. I mean, there's a lot of music in it.
Yeah.
5 stars.
Yeah.
I might just have a bias.
And that's okay.
Wicked, which we'll get back to. I gave 5 stars. And you said it was just okay. You know what? Let's just do this now.
Okay, let's just do this now. I also saw Wicked over Thanksgiving break in theater with my grandmother. And I had seen
with my mother.
The musical on stage, also at the Wharton Center, about maybe 2 years ago. And I had no idea what Wicked was about. I have a really good friend who loves Wicked, and she's seen it multiple times. She loved the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
How do you not know what Wicked's about?
Like, long story short, I just knew, I knew generally that it was related to, like Wizard of Oz and that, but I didn't actually know. I just knew that the masses loved it. My friend Delaney loved it. So I go see it at Wharton. I loved it. It was incredible. At the end, I was like, oh my God, this is genius. This is so smart. I loved the songs. I loved the ratio of song to dialogue. It was a wonderful musical. It is,
yeah. That one has a good.
It felt genius. All the little breadcrumbs, and all of a sudden, you start to see these characters will show up later.
Yeah.
In, like, the Wizard of Oz. Okay, super great for someone like me who didn't know that was happening.
Right. Are you a Wizard of Oz fan?
Yeah, I like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. I can't imagine someone's like, oh, I don't like the Wizard of Oz.
So then I go see it in theaters, and it was good. It was very good. I don't think I would maybe reach to see it again, or I'm not going to be the friend in the group that suggests we put it on type of thing.
I would watch it again.
It was very long, and I just felt myself for some reason feeling really like pissed off when it ended and it said to be continued, knowing what was supposed to be left. And as I told you before we started, I just felt like they maybe had 30 minutes left that they should have just
and they're gonna stretch
and they're gonna make it a whole movie, which I'll be interested to see how they do it, and I'll probably go see it.
I was interested in how they stretched out Act 1. I mean, Act 1 of Wicked is longer than I feel like a normal Act 1 of a musical. It's like it's pretty like it's pretty long. Like because a lot of musicals trying to do half and half, but like Wicked definitely takes a lot of liberties with their Act 1 and then Act 2. I don't know how they're gonna make Act 2 into a whole movie, but I was like sitting there thinking like, God, how did they do this? Because honestly, I felt like it was pretty by the book, the musical. I think there were some things that were changed, but I wouldn't say that there were many things that were like elongated. So I was like surprised when we got to the end, and I was like, oh, like they didn't really add that many scenes.
Yeah.
They just sort of changed some things, and like I think they made Dancing with Life a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, but I thought it was good. I'm coming across really as a hater of musicals and all things in this way. I liked Wicked, everyone. I think I was just... Nothing could beat both the experience and feeling I had watching it for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
On stage. And I just think by the end of the movie, I was like, okay, cool. Great.
And to sort of show a contrast of that.
Please.
The girl next to me was crying at the end.
So that...
See, like, I don't get that.
So that is the thing. I think also, alongside my own personal knowing what Wicked was from that first experience that I had, I also have been hearing all the hype about this movie.
Right.
And seeing TikToks of people crying after Wicked, me before Wicked, me after. I'm like, whoa, I'm expecting something.
It's uplifting.
Right, but I was expecting something so different from what I remembered the onstage performance to be. And then, as you said, I just felt like it was very similar, just adapted to screen, and it was wonderful, and the acting was
which I
amazing.
Appreciate, because I love when, especially after I watched Mean Girls the Musical, which changed so much, I love a good, just stage to screen, and I feel like Wicked's the perfect thing to do that, because it already has this beautiful, like, sort of world created. You don't need to do a lot of world building. I mean, it's a perfect move.
I actually did hear that I think it was the director or someone who was putting the movie together said that they wanted to do as little CGI as possible. So a lot of the literal scene is real. Like they made those lakes, they made the like land around it look like that. And they did a bunch of, obviously the talking goat had to have been.
No, that was a goat.
CG. Okay.
No, he did that.
But then it just got me thinking, I'm like, what in this set is real? It was I mean, it was
It
wonderful.
was really beautiful. Like, the cinematography was
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
People are saying that Ariana Grande is going to get the supporting actress nom for the Oscars. What do you think? I thought she was good.
I thought she was good.
I didn't think... I don't know
couldn't
if it's
really
an
tell.
Oscar.
That was another thing about the movie. I think I was focused too much on watching Ariana Grande and just being like, I can't believe this is her doing this.
I know.
And forgetting that she kind of was an actress before
She's, fully an actress.
I knew her
And she was
as
on
a
Broadway,
singer.
too.
Yeah.
As a child.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She and Liz Gillies, both,
Oh my God,
Jade
yeah,
and
yeah.
Victorious, they were both in 13 the musical on stage.
Oh my God, I did not know that. So yeah, I thought she was good though. I thought Cynthia was amazing.
Oh,
Chills many times in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Many
Gravity,
times.
I mean, if I were someone that, like, didn't know the musical and was, like, not expecting everything, maybe I'd get a little choked up at that last
Right.
note.
So yeah, back to that. I think, it reminded me of what happened with Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I really loved and saw again and would see again. But I did not cry or have the reaction that I think I was expecting to. And I'm a pretty big movie crier. So I kind of thought that would happen. So I guess it was kind of the same thing, which all is to say, don't watch too many videos of people reacting to the latest movie before you go see it.
Yeah, because then it's just gonna, like, ruin your expectations. And also, like, there's this, like, deep-seated, like, thing in me where I'm like, oh, like, I'm gonna be that cringe musical kid if I, like, cry in Wicked. Because it's like I have this, like, deep-seated shame of, like, being a theater kid, I feel like, a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I can't, like, be a theater kid in the theater and cry at Wicked. So I think that might have led into it as well.
See,
It'll be something to talk to by my therapist with.
Yeah. I have a deep-seated... Maybe this is why I don't like musicals, because I did theater in high school and I was in the plays. And then...
But not the musical.
I auditioned for a musical. I'm not really much of a singer.
You're a great singer. I
Thank
hear
you so much.
little
But
singing
not
everywhere.
not in like in that context. You know, I've never no. But I auditioned for it, and to make matters worse, I auditioned for Uncle Fester of the Addams Family, who sounds almost exactly like his name and is a bald man like waddling around, and I didn't get it.
It sounds like his name.
Like he sings the way you would expect someone named Uncle Fester to sing if you've never seen the Addams Family.
For Uncle Fester?
Because it was the only role I thought I could get that was a main role that didn't have to sing beautifully. And I didn't get Fester, and that's when I was like, if I couldn't land Fester, I can't sing at all. And then you know what I was cast as? The Hand. That's how bad my audition must have been. I was literally cast as the Hand, and also a nun. I played 2 parts because, what was that? You couldn't see the rest of my body for my first part, the Hand. I did the snapping. I was the opening scene, and then you know what else happened?
I was the opening scene.
COVID.
No, baby, your hand was the opening scene.
COVID happened the night before we were supposed to open. So even if I had been Fester, I wouldn't have even... It doesn't. It's in the past. Maybe this is where, like, my musical grudge kind of comes from. I loved The Addams Family. That's a wonderful musical.
That's a great musical.
Absolutely. Mamma Mia, wonderful musical.
Did you guys do that too?
After I graduated, they did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We did a lot of, like, Disney-fied ones. Like, we did Shrek the Musical, Little Mermaid. I was in Pitt for Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Maybe I can be on stage, I can be down stage. I'm anywhere.
I'm anywhere.
Yeah.
We did some, like, interesting ones. Only after I graduated, I think, did they start doing the more...
Like normal ones.
Yeah. We never had enough guys in the cast.
Oh, yeah, no, people would ask
so we had to
me,
pick
like,
shows.
Can we do Newsies?
Oh, yeah.
No, we had, like, three
men for Newsies.
3 men that were good. And that's it. So, no.
So, no. But, yeah, that's maybe shed some light on our relationship to musicals and the arts in that way.
I want to, before we move on from Wicked, I want to bring up the Wicked press tour.
Okay.
And just, like, the crying and...
Holding space.
The holding space. And thank God. I'm so glad you did that. But...
I know enough.
It's just, like... I have nothing else actually to say about it. I just had to bring it up because it just makes me laugh every time.
I think that also kind of set my expectation a little bit high because I saw a lot of the press clips before actually seeing the film, and then
I'm like, this must be life-changing.
Yeah, you see that with videos of people sobbing, people who had seen the musical on stage prior. So I was like, wow, yeah, this time it must be really transformative. And it wasn't for me.
It was just the musical.
It was
and that's
great.
okay. It's a great musical. Not even Stephen Schwartz's best, but that's what I say. This is cringe. I'm a really big Pippin fan. But that's just me.
That's just me.
That's just me. So,
yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you were doing over break.
So, media I consumed over break was Wicked. And also, lots of Yellowstone. Yeah. I've been watching Yellowstone.
Are you feeling cowboyified?
I'm not sure that I would use that word, but I definitely...
I'm not sure who would use that word.
...like the show more than I thought I would. On the walk over here, I told Jack that I was watching Yellowstone, and he laughed out loud. He goes, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, he's like, "That's so awesome. I just did not think you would watch that show." And I didn't think I would either, or like it as much as I had, so yeah, it's been great.
You want to give a rundown?
Of Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Okay, Yellowstone is about... I was hoping you'd ask. Yellowstone is about this family, the Dutton family, who owns a humongous ranch or, like, farm in Montana. And the show kind of follows their family and all the drama, and, like, they're all just a little bit, like, screwed up for various reasons. And then they share land with, like, a Native American reservation. So there's some conflict there because they're trying to build on, you know, the whole concept of what land is mine and owning land, which is, you know, okay. And then it's just so fascinating how I think I like it so much because I like it the way that I like Suits. I'm never going to be a lawyer in New York City. So watching this is just like, wow, I'm never going to be a cowboy in Montana, to my knowledge.
It's true.
So watching it, I'm like,
I like
wow.
how you added to my knowledge about being a cowboy man.
Because I said that to one of my family members.
New York City.
Well, I said that to one of my...
that's more, like, realistic.
That's true.
Rather than...
I said that to one of my family members. I was like, I'm never going to be a cowboy in Montana. And they're like, you never know. I was like,
oh, okay.
Where your life could take you. So, yeah. But it's a drama, which I also wasn't expecting it to be as, like, emotional as it is. I don't know. I'm on season 2, and I love it. I feel like the writing's really great. The acting's great. I'm hooked.
She's hooked.
I woke up and watched an episode. TV in the morning.
Holy crap.
Yellowstone in the morning, no less. I don't know, but...
I do a little news in the morning.
Yeah, well, you're better than I. I'm watching
I'm 7 years old.
People herd cattle in fields.
Before we end our conversation, I want to talk about your Apple Music Wrapped.
Oh,
because we planned something very exciting.
Yes.
Where Claire would open her Apple Music Rewind on camera, live react, let's go.
So excited.
And then we'll predict what's going to be on my Spotify Wrapped.
Yes. So to lead into this, I've been listening to a lot of... The third thing that I'd been consuming a lot of was...
Oh, yes.
Dijon.
I've literally never listened to
Okay, so he is a singer, and his album that I'm pulling up right now, which is called Absolutely, is wonderful. Specifically the song The Dress. That's what really got me into all of this. And I'm an Apple Music person, and so now we must look at what else is on my Apple Music.
I just feel like Apple Music is lesser, but
no, okay, well...
I like this.
We're not getting into that.
Not getting into that.
Yeah, okay. So, top artists. Of 1,466 total artists. Number 1, classically Matt Maltese.
Ah, of course. Sad.
Number 2, Gracie Abrams.
Oh,
Number 3,
nice.
Miss Lizzie McAlpine. Number 4, Odie Lee. And number 5, Phoebe Bridgers. I mean...
That list is really
sums
sad.
Sums it up. Okay, top songs. Either Way by Odie Lee. Could have guessed that. Coming in second, Jessie by Jake Minch. Also could have guessed that. Number 3, Hot Wings from the Rio soundtrack. And it's not even that far behind number 2.
Fitting.
Number 4 is Free Now by Gracie Abrams.
Oh, wow.
And, oh God, I was not expecting this because this kind of just came out. Number 5 is Pushing It Down and Praying by Lizzie McAlpine.
Before we started rolling, she said that's the worst thing to ever happen to music.
Well, no, I said it was one of the worst things these 2 years have ever heard. Personally. Okay, top albums: The Secret of Us by Gracie Abrams, Older by Lizzie McAlpine, Carrier Pigeon by Odie Lee. Oh my God, Love for Rent by Smino. Was not expecting that. And Coin's newest album.
Coin Haven't heard that name in years.
Okay. Top genres? Alternative, pop, hip-hop, singer-songwriter, rock. Why is why is singer-songwriter a genre? Right.
That was like all the genres that have existed.
Oh my god. They updated it. You can do your top artists by month, top songs by month, top albums by month.
You can dig into that later.
Playlists? Yeah. Okay. Wow. A lot of Matt Maltese just keeps coming up. Just so much of it. Milestones that I've closed out. 50,000 minutes listened. That's super
pretty
awesome. Good. 1,000 artists played. And 2,500 songs played.
That's kind of like the amount of minutes, like you kind of listen to the same songs.
I reached that mid-year, though, so it's got to be something else. Okay. Oh, and it will compare it for you. Guys, my song last year, I still think about this every time it comes on Shuffle. My number one song of 2023 was Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. And I had such an issue with that for some reason because I like to predict about midway through the year what I think my top song is going to be.
Yeah.
Which is why I made those comments when I read them out loud because I knew those two were going to fight for spots 1 and 2.
I can't believe Hot Wings was
Yeah, I can.
I can.
And I can. I'm surprised it actually wasn't number 2. But Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, every time that comes up in here, I don't know.
It just doesn't seem right.
My top album is always depressing. Last year it was Boy Genius is the record.
I would like to go on record that last year my Spotify Wrapped was every single song was Lady Gaga art pop.
Oh my god.
Every single song was Lady Gaga art pop. And then I wonder what my top album of the year was. Like that didn't come out in 2013. Like what's wrong with me? Like just like going back and like listening to art pop like every single day. I think so beautiful Wrapped. I would also like to say that for my predictions, Lizzie McAlpine will definitely be on my top artists. I think Lady Gaga will be my top artist. I think Charlie XCX is making it. Or Troye Sivan. Maybe both. Who knows? I actually think that Charlie XCX might beat Lady Gaga this year.
I feel like I agree with you.
Which is like kind of weird.
You really love Charlie XCX.
I really love Charlie XCX.
And it was her year.
It was her year, and Gracie Abrams definitely climbed up the list for me. I don't think it'll happen. But I'm a little scared that Nickelback will be on it.
It's okay.
Because whenever I'm feeling like in a weird mood, I'm like, I know it'll put me in a better mood. If I just like scream a Nickelback song and then I just like, okay, moving on. All right, back on my day. And I'm in a weird mood every day at some point. Probably. I have weird moods sometimes.
Yeah. And if Nickelback, there are far worse things to have as a quick fix in life. So I'm glad Nickelback is.
It's like that and like an extra hot vanilla latte.
And yeah, it could be hard drugs or being really mean to everyone around you. There are far worse things. So it's okay if Nickelback shows up on your...
I'm a little worried.
It's okay.
I also think
it's also okay to be worried because...
Some jazz might show up because I listen to jazz when I'm like reading or something.
Okay.
So it's always weird. Last year I didn't post mine because I was like weirded out that... Oh, I'll tell you why. Because I forgot that this is why I didn't post it. I went through a phase in January of 2023 of re-listening to old Bo Burnham songs.
Liz.
In January 2023! And then it showed up on my Spotify Wrapped. And I was like, when's the month that you mostly... Because, like, that's what it was like, when's the month that you most listen to? And it was like, January 2023. And I was like...
That is...
And it ruined... my entire Spotify Wrapped. 1 month. 1 month of being nostalgic will do that to you. And more.
Wow.
But that was the biggest month.
What's your favorite Bo Burnham song?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, yeah, no. Off camera.
Off camera.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
All right,
that.
well, I'm hoping that everyone has a good Apple Replay.
I hope that everyone feels okay.
Or Spotify Wrapped. And... I hope no one's shamed for posting it. I feel like, this is something we were going to talk about. As we kind of segue into what Liz has called the burning questions of today's podcast episode.
Also, it says, Claire and Liz answer your burning questions. I wrote these questions. There's no audience interaction. This is for us to just chat.
Yeah. And the first one is, When am I posting too much on my private Snapchat story? What about my Instagram story? And I think this ties into what we're about to see with people posting their Spotify Wraps and Apple Replays.
Yes.
And I'm all for it. And
I want to see it.
this is coming from someone who, even if I don't want to see it or don't care, I want you to feel liberated to post that, because
That's so true.
it doesn't matter. If someone doesn't like what you post on your Instagram story, they can unfollow you or they can scroll. It's so easy. It's a story. It's built for you to just...
Boom.
This is coming from someone who avidly at the end of every month dumps like 20 photos and then doesn't do anything else.
Yeah,
and
but
it's amazing.
When you were bringing that, because you're like, oh, because my question was, when am I posting too much for my private Snapchat?
You were Snapchat, and
because
I was.
I have a very dearly beloved private Snapchat story that is just like, it's just my incessant need to hear my thoughts out loud. But I think that it's funny, Vlogmas Day 2.
I think it's funny too, as
it's
a
great. As an
viewer.
avid Vlogmas Day 2 watcher.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Instagram story, I feel like you make up for your 20 posts by like not posting anything else. Like you don't post often. And you just do your dump and then you move on. And I'm like, that's so classy. Claire, I think you have a very classy social media and internet presence.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
And I think mine is just like,
no, I
don't
like
know.
yours a lot as well.
Thanks. It's a lot of just like a random picture song.
Yeah.
You know why I brought up posting too much on my Snapchat story? It's because I keep posting about music and I'm like, does anyone care what I'm listening to? Does anyone care?
See, that's what I'm saying. And hopefully your close friends, yes, but here's the thing. The hard truth is that some people don't, but that's not on you. That's not on you. Some people actually don't care. There are plenty of Spotify Wraps I'm going to see on Instagram that I'd be like, I actually don't really care, just as you don't care about mine, but I'm glad you posted it. And your close friends will care. I always care when you post a song.
Oh, Claire slid up last night.
Exactly.
I feel better.
Also, I think a private story is different.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, I
about-
am
because-
not spamming my public
Well,
story.
yes, because you're
Am I crazy?
yes, because you're monitoring who's on that. I don't know. That's a whole
No,
other.
my private story is like very much like, I'm just gonna post as much as possible, like as much as I.
I'm just gonna max it out.
I'm
right
just gonna
now.
max out Vlogmas Day 2 until like people don't care anymore.
That will never happen.
And
I
that
will
never-
always care.
if Vlogmas Day 2 has 0 fans, I've died.
She said it best.
And then Claire had a question. Do you guys like talking about your dreams?
Oh, this was supposed to be my tangent in the beginning. I had okay, before I do this, much like posting a bunch of things, we're like, oh, are people going to care if I post this? In that same vein, nobody really likes to hear people talk about their dreams because
I disagree with you.
it can be boring for lots of people, but that has never stopped me once from doing it. If I wake up and I'm near anyone, I'm telling them what I dreamt about. I'm going downstairs and telling my roommates, and today is relevant because I had a state news dream last night, and we were all at a state news party, or I'm just going to say function of some kind, because it wasn't really a party because
You're just hanging out.
there was a skunk. And I don't think skunks
no
are
one
at many
invited that
parties.
guy.
And we were kind of inside, kind of outside. The opening context is blurry. I'm sure we were all having a good time, and then suddenly I was outside with a couple of our coworkers, and suddenly there was a skunk, and suddenly it was my job. And then suddenly there were two very close together walls, and rather than run the opposite direction of the skunk, I just continued to let myself be chased by it, and then I jumped up onto the walls, like 2 hands, 2 feet, kind of like making a star above
That's
it.
awesome.
The skunk runs beneath me, looks up at me, turns, and sprays. And I was in the line of fire. I've never had a dream like this. And I wasn't
What
like,
do you think that signifies?
I don't know. And we weren't at work, but it was all of our coworkers, and we were almost in like an arena / like game set. Like we weren't anywhere that I had
Oh,
recognized.
so we're not at the snooze house.
No. We're at like a stadium, because then after I was sprayed by the skunk, I kept telling people I needed to go to the hospital, which then led me to believe after I woke up that perhaps it bit me too, or something else happened. And one of our coworkers drove me to the hospital and awaited my diagnosis of you were sprayed by a skunk. And then I was obviously released. I went back to that stadium, except then it had morphed into I was playing soccer in a very commercial way. It wasn't an actual game. It was like very showy. Like almost like we were dressing up as showy. almost as if we were dressing up as soccer players for a huge stadium of people, almost like we were actors, like acting as soccer players. And all of the state news, I look up into the crowd in the top back corner. Everyone is in like a yellow or blue, a bright colored t-shirt. And that's how I remember knowing it was you guys. I was like, oh, there are my friends. And you're all sitting in like this like neon blob. And I didn't care about the skunk anymore. And I didn't care about the party.
Well, you went to the hospital. You didn't.
Yeah, and I, that was like act 2 almost of the dream. And then that was when other friends not affiliated with the state news were there, and we were all playing soccer, and I think my family showed up, and it was much more tame, and nothing was chasing me. That shouldn't have been chasing me. Like a soccer player would have been chasing me, but okay, that's besides the point. But yeah, I woke up and I was like, wow, that was a crazy time. But everyone in the state news was very supportive of my outrunning the skunk. I mean, someone had to be sprayed by it. I can't remember who shouted or started chasing it so that it would be afraid and spray, because I was running from it.
Like
I mean, it wasn't me. I was running from the skunk. This has gone on far too long. But yeah, shout out to Brendan, who was the one that drove me to the hospital in the dream. He was like, I'll take you. And I was like, thanks. Because everyone else was like, ew, you smell.
Ew, smelly.
Anyway.
Brendan's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know? So did you guys like talking about that dream? Comment down below.
Yeah, so anyway.
That was really good.
That's how lots of my dreams go, and I tell people that... I
love people's dreams, because they're just so crazy.
See, you're going to regret saying that to me, because I'm going to tell you all of them now.
I'm really going to text everyone.
My roommates are very polite, and they always make very, very enthused faces, even when I, in hindsight, know that they just weren't that enthused. But I have to say them.
Don't tell me your dreams unless you want me to psychoanalyze what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really can't psychoanalyze the being an actor and playing soccer.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, like, I used to play soccer, so I thought we were playing a real game. But there were other people there.
Acting.
Well, there were other people there that it seemed very, like, almost like circus soccer. Like, we were, like, doing, like, tricks. And we were playing a game. Okay.
Oh, you were doing tricks?
We were, like the opening ceremony of the game. It was so weird, you guys. I mean, that's not weird, but in the context of the skunk, it's all weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I usually don't remember my dreams, because if I remembered all of them, I'd be going insane by now. My mind would be...
That'd be awesome. I would love to remember every dream.
Too full. I heard if you wake up and you either say them out loud or you write them down, that helps you start to get into the habit of remembering them more. I used to be really into dream... I don't want to say dream theory.
Have dream journalism.
Yeah, dream journalism.
Like in my notes.
I don't want to say dream theory, but like, kind of, I guess. I sometimes would look up what I dreamt about. And I had like a little dream Bible thing going on for a while. Like definitions and such.
There's like an old one. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I can't.
So,
whatever.
I have a very...
I don't remember my dreams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a couple that I have in here.
That's awesome.
And they range in detail. This one just says, so many tubes of slide. My friend Snigda drove a motorcycle. We're at a resort.
No, because the problem is, like, you wake up and you put it in there, and then you read it the next morning, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
All right. Should we end this episode?
Oh, God. These are weird. There's so many.
You're weird, bro.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways.
We should do a dream diary episode one day.
We should.
That has nothing to do with, like, pop culture, but...
You know, we've kind of fallen off. This was literally a conversation with Claire and Liz. That was what this episode was about. So...
We're just catching up.
technically a podcast. So.
We're just catching up, and... Then we
wanted you guys to be here.
We're going to go on winter break for a very, very long time. And then we're going to come back and
then we'll be back.
So much media to have to discuss.
Oh my God, I'm going to have so much media to discuss. We're going to have to do a whole episode about it.
And in the meantime, enjoy your Spotify and Apple Wrapped. See Wicked if you're into that. And don't think about skunks too hard.
Actually, Claire, before we end, hold my hand.
What?
Hold my hand. This is the best semester of Houselights that has ever happened. And I truly believe that. I've done Houselights for many a semester, and I think Claire, you, and of course, our amazing podcast coordinator, Taylor.
I wish we could turn the camera so everyone could see Taylor.
Just insert a picture.
Yeah. Taylor.
And seriously, best semester ever of Houselights, and I can't wait to come back and do it one last time. Bye, guys.
I agree. Bye.
I agree. Bye, guys.
I agree. Bye. That was